What is going on, everyone? Badger here. I'm sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. This story is weird. And I'll say it's weird because the fan base itself seems to be divided. I wanted to say 60-40, but maybe now more reading the comments is 75-25, because some of you in the comments think this is absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's completely fine. You don't see any issue with it. And everyone else is screaming, motherfuckers, have you not seen the past decade of every single one of our franchises ruined? No, because that's what DEI inclusion does. All right. It ruins shit. It doesn't make anything better. It doesn't make the stories better. It doesn't make anything better. It only makes it worse. And so it coming for Warhammer via Games Workshop ain't a good thing. All right. Just making something a woman doesn't necessarily make it woke. All right. Especially if there's already examples, as been pointed out, of female characters and strong. It's when they specifically go into no. This group is notated as only this or only that, and they change it not because it actually makes sense to the story, but because it's 2024 and ESG mandates that they put diversity, equity, and inclusion in everything. And the other one I wanted to point out just before we go into this is I said yesterday that I myself didn't care about this. Well, I haven't gotten into Warhammer as a fan. First of all, in all of my videos covering this, I've never said I was a huge Warhammer fan or expert, and you can fucking tell by that, by how I pronounce the names of things. What I said was I wanted to get into the war. I've tried to get into the lore before, and I was really waiting for Henry's Warhammer show and or a good video game, because I don't like RTS top-down stuff. So I was waiting for a good, like that Space Marine video game coming out that now I'm not buying because of the AAA game moratorium. But point is, I was waiting for a couple things before I really got into it. And shit like this, the basically announcement that this franchise is about to be ruined, like every other franchise that I do care about, why would I invest myself in a franchise that I already know is going to go downhill? So thank you, but no, that is, of course, unless this can be halted and changed. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for the people that did comment saying, thanking me for covering this and giving me some really good spots to jump onto the lore. Horus Heresy, once again, is like the #1 suggestion for me to start watching. So you know what? Regardless of all of this, I will start watching some lore videos, and Luton 09 was recommended to me. So that will start happening. But in the meantime, all you people that are in denial that you think there's nothing wrong with this, I highly suggest you go look at what happened to every other franchise that this has happened to. Spoiler, it didn't end well for them. Maybe you're just spending all your time fighting for the Emperor and you've literally ignored all other pop culture. But if you're trying to cope that this is no big deal, wrong. So 3 minutes in, let's get to the actual article. Numerous Warhammer players cancel their subscriptions and announce a boycott of Games Workshop after announcement of female Adeptus Custodes. I don't know how I could say that any separately. Numerous Warhammer players are canceling their subscriptions again after the company has retconned their Adeptus Custodes faction to add females. And I saw like a couple of you saying, oh, there's always been females. No, there fucking hasn't. And plenty of other people have shown me that. Yes, it is a retcon. That's been proven not just by other players showing me passages and earlier statements, but by other Warhammer writers confirming that this is indeed a retcon, not because it is good for the story, but because it's 2024 politics and they want that ESG money. Excerpts from the upcoming 10th edition. And yes, and we have read all of these excerpts proving that, yes, again, they did make female. Games Workshop confirmed the retcon, but chose to gaslight its own fans and players by claiming that they have always been female custodies. The company posted on X, since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians. And following that retcon, the subsequent gaslighting from Games Workshop and fucking other Warhammer players, I would add, a numerous hobbyist, enthusiasts, and former customers have canceled their subscriptions to Games Workshop's subscription service Warhammer Plus and have pledged to boycott the company going forward. And by the way, this is the only strategy. This is what that 3-year moratorium on buying AAA games is. This is what this has to be. It just, sorry, if you're going to do this, you can't have our money. On April 14th, ex-user Grimdark shared a screenshot of him canceling his subscription. He wrote, "Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass, Games Workshop, not another penny." And there we have cancel your subscription. He explained why he canceled when he's boycotting in a subsequent post. For those asking, what happened? Games Workshop disrespected their lore by changing decades-old lore of custodies, only taking males from the high-born families of Terra to become custodies to, nah, women can be custodies now too. And they've totally always been a thing since the beginning, even though they've never been mentioned in any codex or BL book before. We totally aren't doing this for ESG money from BlackRock and Vanguard. And there it is. Thank you. And I was also seeing a lot of you from the comments, and maybe I need to not be harsh. A lot of you don't even know what the hell DEI is. Maybe you really have not been paying attention to the culture war, or you really just listened to the propaganda and you dismissed it as just angry incel nerds. Nah, brah. ESG money is a real thing. They are really trying to change the culture of America and the world, but specifically America. And they're doing that through our pop culture, our books, our video games, our comics, our movies, our television shows. And guess what? That's what this is. Warhammer, DEI has come for you. It's ridiculous. Another user, Velrunar, responded to Grimdark, informing him he was boycotting Games Workshop as well. He wrote, right there with you. I don't think I'll be buying any more GW, and I'm not even sure if I want to keep anything anymore. Other users announced they've also canceled their Warhammer Plus subscription. Econ Adept wrote on X, I canceled mine too. I'm married with kids. He also shared a screenshot of him explaining why he can't. It's sort of like, hey, I'm canceled mine too. I'm married with kids. Don't call me an incel. By the way, anyone, if you've ever unironically called someone an incel for this, go fuck yourself. My first video ever on YouTube is why you got to stop calling people incels. It does nothing. It shuts down conversation. Shout out to everyone that's going to say that in the chat. Probably get blocked. I canceled mine too. I'm married with kids. He also shared a screenshot of him explaining why he canceled. You betrayed the lore, the fans. I will no longer spend money on your company. I will advocate others to do the same. You better hope the woke mob supports you, because I will not. Yeah, well, I don't know if the Warhammer woke mob that's defending this shit is any different from that woke mob that has ruined Star Wars, Marvel, pick one, Lord of the Rings. They don't spend money on anything. They don't watch anything. They'll be gone. This will be left in ruins, and all that will be left with the OG ones wondering what the hell happened to the things that they loved and spent money on for decades. Marty G also shared, I canceled mine too. I'm married with 4 kids. One is gay, another is trans. Oh, let's call you a bigot and an incel. I'm not against female custodies, even though they've been the Emperor's favorite sons for years. I'm against the gaslighting from GW. A good lore-based explanation would have minimized this. And that's the other thing. There would have maybe been a way to do this. This ain't it. Gaslighting and attacking your fans is never the way to do it. I've canceled mine and sending an email that I want a refund. If they decline, I will dispute it with the bank. Oh, if they decline, I will dispute it with the bank and have it charged back. I am not rewriting my White Dwarf subscription. I'm not renewing my White Dwarf subscription, and I was planning to do the new Imperium subscription, Combat Patrol, not now. Baron also indicated he would be boycotting company. I've enjoyed this hobby since second as well. Long nights playing games with friends in a basement for years. I probably have models older than some of the people calling me a tourist. Yeah, sure. Now watch me leave with the money. Yeah, that's the craziest thing. There's a lot of people that are like, yeah, no, this is totally a retcon. This is this. They seem to be the older OG, like actual experts and shit. And the people that are like, this has always been like this. They seem to be more like the newer players. I don't know. It is really weird. The Metroid Prime wrote, it goes further to me. I also unsubscribed to the 40K channels I was following, except for Arch's second channel, just to track an impeding shit show that this IP will become. If the source material turns to slop, there is zero interest in having it regurgitated by YouTubers. I mean, yeah, I don't think you should punish those YouTubers who, I mean, if they're backing this and they're for something that will ultimately be bad, that's your own choice. But if it's just people that are covering Warhammer, you shouldn't punish them just because the company has done something. If anything, you should be more active, having your voice heard and your expertise there, showing them what they're doing wrong and what they need to do to change it to make it better. They being Games Workshop. More people, I'm doing the same, except Baltimore. I knew this shit show would come to 40K, but it still kind of sucks when it actually happened. Honestly, going all of this, and this is when Henry was first announced to doing it, I was like, boy, just the lore I do know about it and the setting, and everyone is fucking sort of an asshole to begin with. Like, I don't even know how they could put DEI into it, but they found a way. Krishna, a bunch of numbers here, also noted that he was boycotting. I feel you. I've been in the hobby since 1998. Work a well-paid job and getting married later this year. God forbid those welfare left can afford WH plus, but I cancel mine as well. I hate people forcing an unwanted change. I feel it's very interesting and sad that everyone that's canceling this feels the need to say that they're married and or I'm not an incel, I'm not a bigot. You like really showing that you alienated the core audience. Where does that sound familiar? I was gonna get one of those chaos battle forces due out the spring, but I'm going to spend my money elsewhere. I think Warhammer, if you have a little respect for the lore, the intelligence of your customers, why bother? I'll stick with hashtag Old Hammer in the future. Oh, and I guess if Old Hammer is a thing, that's what I'll be getting into. This boycott of Games Workshop and Warhammer due to its obvious embrace of feminist ideology can only be seen as a good thing because it means less people will be subjected to future propaganda that Games Workshop will inject into its games, books, and TV shows. It also means the demoralization that comes along with the propaganda will be blunted. Yeah, and this has been talked about. Oh, and if you're wondering, yeah, it is. This is all done on purpose. This demoralization was noted by former KGB agent Yuri Bezmenov, who warned about it back in the 1980s. Just so you know, this has all already happened. Everything that's happened, if you're wondering what happened to our educational systems, if you're wondering why DEI has taken over so fully in the past 10 plus years, it ain't just the money. It's that they got the youth. They got an entire generation of youth. And that's exactly what Yuri was saying here. It's a great brainwashing process, which goes very slowly, and it's divided into 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation, and boy, are we demoralized. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism, Leninism ideology is pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism, which of course has been, and this would go to any country, nationalism and pride in your country and your civic virtue. That's all gone. That's all gone. They want that one world government. So DEI is a part of that. Infecting all of our culture is a part of that. And here we go. Here we go. Female custodians, and as everyone keeps saying, that doesn't mean Space Marines. Motherfuckers, don't you get that the thumbnails are meant to be not so specific? It's just a badger in a fucking Warhammer armor. That's all it is. Don't think into it that much. But yeah, you probably will be getting female Space Marines at some point. Either way, let me know what you think of all this. Really enjoying seeing people not standing up for this and the boycotting. And don't give your money to these people. Don't give your money to these people. Remember, stop giving your money to people that hate you. And all the people that are happy with this, it's only going to get worse. Enjoy your now, probably on the decline, unless you stop it. And boy, does this make me very interested, curious as to what Henry will be able to do, because now, not only will he be fighting the DEI agenda coming from Amazon, he's going to be fighting the DEI agenda coming from fucking Games Workshop. Make sure to like and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And,
well, bye.